Hello team, welcome back. Welcome to Nginx training, and today we will see how we can handle the dynamic request in the PHP. Till now we were serving the static content, we were serving the HTML file, we were serving the PNG file, we were returning some standard string. Now we will see how PHP can handle the dynamic request. And if you remember when we was discussing about the Nginx and Apache, we mentioned that Nginx is a single process application. Single process execute multiple threads to execute the request. And when we was learning about the dynamic content, we mentioned that Nginx will create the PHP FPM process to handle the dynamic request. Because dynamic request needs to be handled by the different process that is not being handled by the Nginx process itself, and that is the reason why Nginx work as a reverse proxy. Because Nginx main process will initialize a process with PHP FPM. PHP FPM will handle and complete the dynamic request. It will submit the request to the main Nginx process, and main Nginx will serve the request to the client. So today we will see how we can handle the dynamic request, handle the dynamic PHP request with the help of the Nginx. So let's go to the terminal first. We are on our terminal, and to start the PHP FPM process, Nginx first need the installation of the PHP. So first what we will do, we will install the PHP FPM in our box. For this, first we will update the package. So apt-get, and we will execute the apt-get update. Let's hit enter. This is always helpful to update the package manager first. Now to install the PHP FPM, you need to execute a command apt-get install php-fpm. Hit enter, and this will download the PHP FPM. It will ask for your confirmation. Provide your confirmation and hit enter key again. This is downloading the PHP FPM process. Once the download will done, it will install the PHP FPM and you will get the success message on your terminal. So let's wait until the complete download and installation will be done. And you can see the complete download and installation is done. And over here we are getting that this particular PHP processing is triggered for the ManDB, unread ahead, labc and systemd. It means PHP service is by default created with this particular PHP FPM. If you go with this particular link, you can see a symlink is being created which is directly locating to the libsystemd system, right? And this is the PHP FPM service which is being created PHP 7.2-FPM. So whenever we are installing the PHP FPM, PHP will create the service with the version. Why this is helpful? This is helpful because if you want to execute multiple PHP versions, you can do that particular thing. So over here, like the Nginx, we don't need to add the PHP as a systemd service. PHP is already added as a systemd service inside my system services. Let's clear out the console and verify the status of my service. So systemctl status PHP 7.2-FPM. Hit enter. There's a mistake. This should be PHP only. Hit enter. One worker process and see one master process and two worker process are running. If you will identify ps-aux grep php, it means show all PHP processes. You can see one master process is running with root user and two worker process are running with the www-data user inside the PHP. Now let's clear out the console and we will go to the browser. On browser, we will try to hit our website on port 8081 on which my website is running, and I'm getting my website running. It means Nginx is running and my website is also loading successfully. Now let's go back to the terminal and open the configuration file. So here is my configuration file. What I will do, I will clear out this particular location first. Now I will go inside the insert mode, and to work with the PHP, I will define the index. Index is a directive which you need to use whenever you want. Index is a directive which you want to use whenever you are working with the dynamic and static content. And the first file which I want to supply to index is the index.php. And if index.php is not available, then serve the index file index.html. Close this directive. So what I'm doing over here I'm supplying both of the index file, one for the dynamic process and another for the static process. And if you remember, index.html file is present at the root of my blogging site at this particular location. Now let's do one more thing. Let's modify the port as well, and we are again going to make the port on default 80. Let's save the program, reload the Nginx, hit enter. Nginx reload should be done. Go back to the browser and let's remove the port from here. Hit enter and you can see my website is basically loading on port 80, right? Index.html is basically being loaded instead of the index.php. Why index.php is not loaded over here? Because in my file blogging template, if I will go to the blogging template, put ls, you can see there's no file called index.php, only one file present which is index.html, so that whenever I am hitting the request on port 80, the second index is basically being returned. Now let's again open the configuration file and put some changes over here. I'm defining another location. After this index, I will define another location and defining the root location, right? Over here, I'm defining the try files and first it will return the URI. If URI is not matching, then second thing is return the URI at root path. If this is not matching, simply return 404 status code. So this is the location which we have defined. So what I'm doing over here, with the help, you can see this is the root location. So whenever request will land on the root location, first it will try for the URI. If URI not present, then it will go for the URI, then the all resource path. If this is also not present, then it will directly go to the 404. Let's save this, reload the Nginx, go to the browser and refresh this. See, this is go for the website. If I will go with like this is again go for the website. But if we go like this, test, hit enter, we are getting 404. So the same thing we have defined inside the try files. Now let's again go back to the terminal and open the configuration file. And over here, to work with the dynamic files, we need to define some mode locations. So we will define location, then tilde dot slash php dollar, open and close the curly braces, format the braces and go into the location. So this location I'm defining for the files which have the PHP extension. So all the files which have the .php extension, these files will directly work with this particular location which is just defining over here. And to work with the PHP, we need the dynamic process handling. And for the dynamic process handling, we need the fast CGI module. Fast CGI is simple protocol like the HTTP protocol, right? But that is for the dynamic module use of the Nginx. If you go to the Nginx configuration file location, cd etc nginx, put ll, you can see fast CGI configuration is basically already defined over here. This is the inbuilt module in the Nginx. If you want, you can open this particular file as well, fastcgi.conf, and you can see over here we have the different configurations. So what we will do to add this particular configuration, I need to include add, I need to mention include, then define the configuration. Close this, and after this we need to define another directive, fast CGI underscore pass. And over here we need to define the socket on which particular socket the Nginx and fast CGI process can talk to each other, because Nginx will create a forward request to the fast CGI process and fast CGI process will accept that particular request and return back to the Nginx. So they need some socket, some communication point or some port to communicate. So we need to define that. So we will define like Unix colon, and over here we need to define the FPM socket location. So if you don't aware the FPM socket location, you directly go to the terminal, right? This is the same machine terminal on which we are working, and type find root hyphen name. It means we are finding some file at the root location which have the name like asterisk ending with the fpm hyphen shock. It means I need to find out all the files on this particular OS which have this particular extension. Let's hit enter and see, this is the location is run php 7.2 fpm.sock. Just copy this, go to configuration, paste it over here and close your configuration. Now let's save your file, reload your nginx, and we are getting some error. Let's see where we missed the curly braces. Okay, so here is a space missing, we need to add the space. See, In this particular location we are missing the space. Just close this, type nginx-t to check the configuration. Configuration is okay, reload the nginx. So we have reloaded the nginx. Now my nginx is able to handle the PHP requests as well. So what I will do, I will go to the blogging location. Right over here we have the files like index.html and assets. I will create one more file and call it, and you can call it info.php. Over here you need to mention some program which will provide you the PHP information. So just go to the insert mode and provide a syntax like colon question mark PHP, then call a function PHP info. This is the function inside the PHP which will provide you the PHP information. Close the question mark, again the question mark, and close the PHP. Team, this is the PHP file start syntax and this is the PHP file end syntax. And over here we have the PHP function which is defining the PHP information on my box. Just close this, right? Put ls, and you can see we have the info.php available over here. Now let's go back to the browser. And over here you can see we have defined the file at the root path. I will try to access info.php. Hit enter. And we are getting some new error. This time we are getting 502. We are not getting 404. It means resource is available but bad gateway. Nginx is not able to connect with the PHP process. Right? There is a gateway error. The gateway which we have defined fpm.sock. PHP process and Nginx process are not able to communicate, so that we are getting this particular error. This is not related to the resource. Resource is present, otherwise you will get the 404. And to rectify the error, we need to go to the error logs in the process. So over here, let's tell last 10 lines of the error logs. Log nginx error log. Hit enter. And here is the error. You can see it is saying the connection error on the Unix run PHP FPM socket connection failed, permission denied. While connecting to the upstream client server request, and this request got failed and we are getting the permission denied option. It means the nginx process and PHP process are not able to communicate. We need to find out why they are not able to communicate. Let's go to the terminal again and execute a command ps-aux grep nginx. Hit enter. This should be space. A space is missing over here. Hit enter. And you can see the nginx master process is basically executing via root user. But nginx worker process is executing by user nobody. If we will execute the same command for the PHP, then PHP master process is executing by the root, but PHP worker process are being executed by another user www-data www-data. Here is the main problem. This nobody user don't have the permission to this particular process. So there could be the multiple ways to resolve this particular problem, but we will go with the simplest one. So we will again open the configuration file and we will start the nginx worker process with the www-data user. For this you need to go to the insert mode, and at a global level you need to define the user, then the username www-data. This is the global directive I am defining, so all the worker process of this particular nginx will be executed by this particular user. Let's save this, reload the nginx, again find out the nginx process, and you can see nginx worker process this time is executing by a www-data user. Right now, if you will go to the browser and refresh my browser, we are getting the PHP info. This page is basically being written by the PHP info file, right? The function we called inside this particular PHP file, PHP info. This is the data which is being written that particular function, and over here you are getting the complete detail, the system, build date, server API, virtual directories, and the complete detail which you need. Right? This is a long file. PHP info is returning all the information regarding the PHP as well as this particular operating system. You can see zlib version and other versions are also mentioned over here. Right, inside the environment we are getting that which user is executing this particular environment. These are the PHP variables, the server user, and the other things. Now let's again go back to the terminal, and this time we will create the index.php file. So we will go to the blogging template, put ls. So we have the file index.html and info.php. Over here we will create another php file called index.php file. Why we are creating index.php file? Because we have defined index.html and index.php at the root location, and we have mentioned in the index that if root location is being called, then first preference should be the index.php instead of index.html. So call vi index.php, go to the insert, and over here we will print some data with the help of the PHP program. So I'm going to provide some basic echo commands over here. I will initialize the PHP file, close the PHP file, and over here I'm mentioning echo hello, echo welcome to Nginx training, echo enjoy all of the Nginx lectures. Let's save this, go to the browser and open your website 104, and you can see this time on the root axis I'm getting hello, welcome to Nginx training, enjoy the Nginx lectures. How I am getting this? Because inside the configuration file, if you will open the configuration, we have defined the index, and first preference is for the PHP index, then for the HTML index, right? And inside the location as well, first it is trying for the URI, then going for the further resources, right? If you will search for index.html, then you will get the index.html. But if you directly go with the base URL, as per my configuration file, you will get the PHP file. So this is the way how you can configure the PHP process, how you can initialize the dynamic configure process, how you can prioritize the file which you can return at the first choice, which you can return at the second choice on the same resource path. And this has one more advantage, that if this file is missing, then by default this file will be returned, right? So this is the way, team, how you can create and configure the dynamic process inside the Nginx. If you have any doubt, any question regarding this particular lecture, please let me know. I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you, team. Thanks for your time.